Welcome to another episode of the Lone Recruiter Podcast. I'm your host, Brett Clemenson, and if you're a recruiter out on your own or just lacking general guidance or mentorship, you've come to the right place. Our episodes are designed to give you the motivation, the advice, and the strategies you need to become the very best lone recruiter. So join us, grab a cup of coffee, and let's take your desk to another level. Now today, I want to answer the question, how do I get better at recruitment? I mean, wow, that's a bloody loaded question, isn't it? Because I'm 16 years into this career and I'm still getting better. Every day I chip away at it and I'm always learning. But how do I get better at recruitment? Look, I think this journey is going to be different for everyone. We all inherently have different personalities, and different personalities have different traits, and those traits present as different strengths. If you look around your office or recruiters that you know, and you look at various people, they're all going to have, like, if you think, hey, what's their one or two key strengths, you could tell me in 2 seconds flat what they are. We find it quite difficult to talk about ourselves and what our strengths are, but if you ask someone around here, I can almost guarantee they would say, oh, you're very good at ad writing. Oh, you're fantastic at interviewing. Oh, mate, you are the best at closing deals. Like, whatever you're good at, fantastic. We don't want to talk about what you're good at, though, do we? How do we get better at recruitment? It's focusing on the weak links. And I think recruitment is a concept of pieces to a whole. Every single step of this process of recruitment requires a skill. And like a chain, we are only as strong as our weakest link. Let me say that again. Recruitment is pieces to a whole. We start at the beginning, we end with a placement. And every single step of the way is a task or a skill. And that's why it takes quite a while to get up to speed with recruitment. And if you're deficient in any of those areas, well, that's going to be your weak link in the chain. And that's where your deal is going to fall apart, right? So today, that's what we're going to hone in on, is what is your weak link and where can we get the gains and how we're going to implement something that's quite easy. Again, I'm inherently lazy. Training, development, snooze fest. But at the same time, you can make it fun, you can make it easy and almost like a challenge, right? So what I love, I mean, we've all heard of Tony Robbins, but he has this great line that I've heard him use before, which is humans inherently overestimate what they can achieve in 1 year, and they severely underestimate what they can get done in 20 years. And it's so true. I mean, when you look back at your years, you can go, oh, yeah, I got a few things done. But when you look back at 20 years, you go, holy crap, like that's half a lifetime into 20 years. There's a lot that can be done. So that logic has stuck with me quite a bit. And it's made me realize that just chipping away and what might not seem like a lot being done in 1 year will add up to be quite significant over 20. And so in today's episode, to answer the question of how do I get better at recruitment? Well, it's a very personal question and it's very personal to you, and we're going to work out what that looks like. So let's get a piece of paper, get a pen or get a Word doc out, whatever that might be, because what I'm going to try and do is I want you to write down every single part of the recruitment process, every piece of the whole that you think you could do better at. And if you've got anything that's like an 8, 9, or 10 out of 10 in terms of a skill set, or you think, oh, I'm just fine there, don't write it down. Don't worry about that. It's going to be things that you feel that you actually could be better at. And if you're not sure what that is, I've got a list here that I'll go through so you can go, oh, there, that's me. If you don't like doing something, typically you're not good at it. Or it comes with an immense amount of mental load or energy or friction that makes you feel uncomfortable. That's probably something that you should be writing down, because you probably could be better at it. If you were good at it, it would be easy. We don't, like a baby. Watch a baby. When they try to walk, it is like so hard. It is so hard to walk when they've just been crawling their whole life, and then all of a sudden they're trying to take their steps, and we watch them going, that looks so easy. But as an adult, generally speaking, I'm sorry if this offends anyone, but when we walk, we don't think about it. It's easy. It's not stressful. It's just something we do, right? Or breathing. You don't think about it. It's just something we do because we're very good at it. You are probably a 10 out of 10 for walking and breathing, because it is just autopilot. If you can get your desk, your recruitment life to autopilot stage, boom, like you are going to float through your processes. You're going to be a very good recruiter, and it can take a long time to get there. But 20 years is a long time, and we underestimate what we can do in 20 years, and we overestimate what we can achieve in 1 year. So with that in mind, we're going to chip away at that. So what are areas within the recruitment process that you could sharpen up on? Let's just write them down. Let's just start with that, right? You're not going to tackle them all, but let's just put them all down so we can objectively look at it. So if you have already started writing that down, fantastic. But I've got some ideas here. Is it taking quality job briefs? Could you be better at that? Is it writing advertising copy? How's your ad writing skills? Are you getting good applicants? No? Maybe you should be better at it. Or maybe it's like understanding the advertising algorithms on the various platforms. How are your email scripts? Have you spoken to your LinkedIn rep? Do you think you've got best practices there? Are you getting good responses? Is it headhunt scripts? How are your headhunt calls, scripts? Cold calling? How's your cold calling? Are you good with that? Automation? Could you do any LinkedIn automation? Could you do any business automation? Where are you at in terms of AI and automation? Client meetings? Are you good with client meetings? Do you like them? Do you hate them? A client meeting something you could be better at? Getting interviews, like convincing clients that you need to, they need to see your candidates. You could be better at that. Fee negotiation. Who could be better at fee negotiation? Hey? And I'm not talking like, oh, I can have the call, it's fine. Like, are you getting the fees you want? Are you sticking with your standard terms? Closing candidates, counteroffer speech. How do you handle that? How do you handle a counteroffer when a candidate says I'm turning your offer down because I've taken a counteroffer? Are you good with that? How's your invoicing? Could you be better at running more briefs? Like, have you got like a threshold? I can only handle 4 at a time. And what if that was 8? What if you could handle 8? Is that something you could get better at? These are just ideas. There are so many pieces of recruitment. And if you need to press pause and keep writing down things that you feel you could be better at, do it, right? And then come back and we'll continue. So get that list going. Once you have your list and you know, okay, these are things I think I could really be better at. They're going to vary. Like some of them are going to be big tasks. Some are going to take a while. Like we talked about automation there. Maybe that's actually quite a big task because you've got to learn it, got to understand it, what do I actually need. But then there's going to be some low-hanging fruit as well, some really easy ones. Like, I don't know, taking quality job briefs. Like that's a pretty quick fix. If you're not good at it, it just means you need a better template. You need to kind of just critically think about how you're taking those briefs. But take your list and I want you to put a number next to each item between 1 and 10. 1 being, that's a quick win. That's low-hanging fruit. That's going to be a really quick thing to make me better at my job. And then 10 being, it's important, but that's going to take a long time. And think of it in years. Like 1 year, 1 is a 1-year task. 10 is a 10-year task, right? Go through your list of things that you think you'll be better at in recruitment. 1, is it a 2? Is it a 5? Is it a 10? So again, 1 being like, this is a quick win. I could do this now. It will make me better. I just have to do it. You know, a 5 would be it's a medium-term thing. Like it's important. Maybe I could start soonish or start in the journey, or I could start now. It's actually going to take me a long time to tweak it. And then a 10 being, that's so far in the future. It's something I could do. Maybe I'm too new at it, or maybe there's too many items here and I just can't see myself getting to it. Don't worry about it. Just give it a 10 and we're not going to think about it. Go through that list. And what I want you to do now is get rid of every single item on that list, or at least just ignore them, and create a second list, which is just the ones. The ones are the low-hanging fruit, the easy fixes. You just need to tackle them, right? Have a look at that list. That's the list you're going to focus on in the short term. And to make things even easier and more succinct for you, pick one right now. And if you can't pick one, close your eyes and put your finger on it. That's the one you're going to do. What I would love to see you try and do, and this is the quickest way for you to get better, to get better at the pieces of the whole, to have less weak points in your chain. For 30 minutes a day for 5 days, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, find 30 minutes in your calendar to tackle that one area that you could improve on. That's all you're going to do this week. So let's just say, I don't know, in-mail scripts. You want to get better at in-mail scripts. Go to your calendar and block out 30 minutes every morning. Your brain is best in the morning. Okay, who you are, you can critically think way better in the morning than you can in the afternoon. You've got 3 major thinking points in a day, and you're pretty well depleted. So do it early in the day, put a 30-minute window, and on day 1, research. Okay, what is best practice in mail scripts? Let's have a look here. Day 2, call LinkedIn. Can I get some training in mail scripts? What's best practice? What's working? What's not? Day 3, let's start practice writing 30 minutes. Day 4, day 5. Within 5 days, you've done 2.5 hours of upskilling in that area. The beauty of like an in-mail script upskilling is that once you've got this script and your format, it's a template, right? It's lock and load. You don't even have to think about it anymore. It's just you've got a template. You can fill it out when the next brief comes in. But my point is you've got to just chip away at improving yourself. So again, this episode is about how do I get better at recruitment? You're not going to get better overnight, but you are going to get better in tiny little micro steps every single day if you're consciously trying to get better every single day. And 30 minutes a day, I can almost guarantee you can afford. Everyone has 30 minutes a day for priority tasks. And if you are a recruiter and you're listening to this podcast, well, I can bet your bottom dollar you're here because you want to learn, and you're here because you want to get better at what you do. Take my advice for it. You don't need a manager or a training manager or a boss or whatever to tell you when and how to get better. You need to take control of what you think you need to get better at, because chances are you know yourself better than anyone else. They just pretend. You know yourself and answer to yourself and yourself only, because you are the only one in control of your time and your desk and how you perform as an individual, okay? If you're not performing, it is most likely on you. Not shame on you. It just means you've got a learning curve. Let's go and do it. Let's pick out those low-hanging fruit items. Let's go and attack them 30 minutes a day and watch yourself. Over the next 4 weeks, if you picked one item a week to do 30 minutes a day on improving that task, that's 4 tasks a month, or 4 parts of the recruitment process that you are now God level at, right? And if you can do 4 in the next month, you're going to be a better recruiter for it. Chances are you're going to get an additional deal to your normal billing month, and we just keep building. And remember what Tony Robbins says: we overestimate what we can achieve in 1 year, and we underestimate what we can do in 20. And if you want to maximize the 20 years, it starts today with tiny steps, and tiny steps add up to big steps, and big steps add up to leaps. You get the picture. That's all I have time for you today. If you like this podcast, please share it. Comment, subscribe, you know the drill. It helps us get us out to a wider audience. We love bringing this content to you. Have an amazing day. And as always, may all your deals come true.